We're about to enter like the biggest breakup season ever. If you're not voting, she knows. You can't even lie this time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. Once again, this is your host, Naba. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button on your way in, and let's get right into this video. Y'all, today is election day. People are scrambling to the polls to put in their vote, and I never talk about politics and I never talk about religion because I think both of them are divisive cults, so I don't talk about them. I try not to. So I'm going to have to really be careful about what I say on this video because I don't want them to strike my video or to take it down. But let's get into this, y'all. Okay. So we're going to talk about the division that this specific election is causing between everybody. I think that it was meant to cause division, but I don't think that it is dividing the people that they meant to divide. This division is dividing everybody. I really feel like this is spiritual, but everybody, moms, dads, sisters, brothers, husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, in-laws, children, like everybody. If you're on Reddit, I was looking at a post about breakups that have happened because of the election, and not just this election. It has gone back for at least 6, 7, 8 years. I remember I had got upset with my in-laws for voting for Hillary Clinton back when she was running because I was so pro-life. I was a Christian at the time, so I was pro-life. I was not pro-choice. But things have changed. I'm no longer a Christian. That's a big thing that has changed. And I'm no longer pro-life. I am pro-life, but I'm not. I'm pro-choice at this point because of the laws being changed by these men. Like, literally, like, women are really having to break up with their boyfriends and husbands because they're just now figuring out how much the men in their lives really don't like them. Like, y'all, I've been knowing this. I've been knowing that most men do not like women. I'm very observative. I'm a Virgo, like a September woman Virgo, which means I'm very analytical. I don't think that August Virgos are the same as September Virgos, and I don't think that men Virgos are the same as women Virgos. So it's just a lot of things that goes into it. But as a September Virgo, I've noticed this for a while that most men, because I'm around them, they don't, when they talk, if you just listen to them long enough, they'll say one or two things that will let you know that they really don't like women. They even online, like we see it online, but if you're around them in person, you'll see it and you'll hear it. So this is just crazy to me that this is what it's taken for women to realize that the men in their lives really, really don't like them. Like, and I'm saying that because if they are voting a certain way, it's because not only because they're dumb, they're not really paying attention to the things that affect you because they don't care, but they really just don't like you. Because these laws that they're changing, that men are changing, are going to put women basically back in slavery. They're going to basically put people that are not women that look like me back into slavery. They really are. And they're not hiding it. They're talking about it out loud, but we know that XYs are missing a few chromosomes. They're missing some stuff, so they don't really get how serious this is for women and why women are upset. Like, literally, they don't, some of them don't get it, but some of them just don't, a lot of them just don't care. Like, and if they're going to lose, like, they are going to lose women family members They're going to lose their daughters, their cousins, their mothers, their nieces, their girlfriends, like, by some of these laws. If they happen to get pregnant, and we know as women that things go wrong all the time in pregnancies. A lot of people didn't care when it was just stuff happening to black women. Black women were dying more than everybody else in these hospitals. But now it's going to be all women. It's already happening. There's stories, I'm sure I've talked about them on some of my videos, of women just being taken out of here because of these laws, because they can't get help. Of little 10-year-olds getting, SA'd and raped and can't get, the help they need. They are being forced to have these kids. So y'all, let me get into these videos, and I'm sure I'll be in and out with my commentary, and I'll be back after this.
And there's so many relationships that have been broken up through this way of thinking in the last 5 years than any other time I've ever seen in the United States of America. Friendships, 30, 40 years that have broken up because one says Trump, one says Biden. Sad. No one wants to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it at church. They don't want to talk about it at the dinner table. I don't want to talk about it. I haven't even said the word Trump for years.
With your long-term boyfriend over politics, let's talk about it. So this girl writes into DM, her and her boyfriend have been dating about 6 years. She says that they have really differing political views. One of the big things that's proven to be an issue in their relationship is that he's really pressured her to take his last name. She really wanted him to either take her last name or for her to keep it. Eventually she agrees, even though she's uncomfortable with it. The issue is that he is voting for Trump, and when she says, "Why are you voting this way?" he sums it up by saying that everyone around him is voting that way. A lot of his coworkers are voting that way, so she doesn't feel like that's an adequate excuse. Girl, we're with you. She does say that other than these political issues, he is a really loving partner to her, so she wants to know, should she break up with him over these issues? I don't know, guys. What do you think?
His boyfriend is a big Trump supporter. Would she be an asshole to break up with him? This girl has been dating this guy for 3 months, and everything has been going great until the debate. She posted something on Instagram endorsing Kamala Harris, and definitely she'll be voting for her in November because she supports her policies. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, has been a big Trump supporter. At first it did not bother her, but he has posted things on Instagram and Facebook that doesn't really sit well with her. She's bisexual, and we all know that Trump is not big on the LGBTQ community. When they first got together, she didn't want to tell him that she was bisexual. After she found out that he supports Trump, she told him. He said it's fine, and that he supports her, but also he supports Trump. And to her, she's like, you're supporting someone whose plan in 2025 is basically to eradicate the LGBTQ community. It really hurts that her boyfriend is supporting someone who doesn't support her people. What really set things up for her was when he posted a picture of the MAGA flag on his private Snapchat story saying, F your feelings. She hasn't spoken to him since, and the boy's family too is a big Trump supporter. Will she be the asshole? I don't know.
Political secrets might sound harmless, but they're causing real breakups. A 2023 survey by the APA revealed that about 1 in 5 adults have become estranged from a family member due to a political disagreement. I spoke to a woman yesterday who found out her husband secretly voted against her candidate, and it didn't just hurt her, it shattered her whole sense of who he was. Voting has become so much more than politics. For many, it's a test of values and sometimes even a deal breaker. Politics today, they're so personal. It's about identity. And when someone hides their beliefs, it feels like they're hiding a part of themselves.
I just want to stop and say right here that if somebody is hiding who they're voting for, it can only be for a few reasons. Either they know that this person is not a good person. They're just voting for this person because they really don't like women and don't care what's going on with women. And they know that their women or their woman in their life is not going to be happy with that. And the other reason, if they're hiding it, say if it's a woman that's hiding it from her husband, is because she knows that her husband may very well take her out and take her off of this planet. So I think that women and men are hiding their political identity for different reasons. Men are hiding it because they know that it's wrong. They just don't care because they're selfish and they're going to do what they want to do and they're going to vote for their best interest, and they expect for women not to. And women are hiding it because they know that is wrong with, what they're, they know that is wrong what, I'm trying not to say certain parties. I'm trying not to say the names of the parties. They know the other side is wrong also, but also they're hiding because they're scared of their spouse or their boyfriend or getting kicked out of their family homes. So that's all I wanted to say.
A 2024 report highlighted that politically mixed marriages have declined from 30% in 2016 to 21%, reflecting growing political polarization within households. Maybe it's time for an honest conversation. Would a secret vote, or maybe not even voting at all, cause tension in your relationship?
During this specific election, with the respect meter being on two different levels, the moral meter being on two different levels, the decency meter being on two different levels, the education background being on two different levels, I see why that lady left her husband because of his support for you-know-who. Because no man could love me and be voting for a man who doesn't care if I died while pregnant because I can't get what I need to get done. You don't love me. You don't care about what can happen to me. I see why she left. And plus, I would never want to be with a man who supports someone who sexualizes their own daughter. If you don't know, pull up the clips of him talking about how he thinks his daughter's hot and sexy and all of you're nasty. I see why she left her husband. I couldn't support no man like that. I don't care. Everybody can have their different views, but when it comes to me and mine, we better be equally yoked enough to where we both see eye to eye on what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And there's somebody that's truly wrong in this whole election. Just off of moral decency. There's never going to be a perfect candidate. Let's just be clear. There's never going to be that candidate who checks off every single box. There's going to be some things that you may not side with, but then you get to the point of, okay, let's get off the policies. Let's get off what's on paper. Is this person a decent human being? Do they have respect for all Americans, not pick and choose who they have respect for? That's when we get into the nitty gritty. Let's get off the paper. Let's get to who is this person, family-wise, background, education, all the things. I would have left mine. I would have left him too. Knowing what, if you were just with voting for somebody who was just a nasty being, a nasty human being, just by what comes out of their mouth and the gestures they make.
Okay, but can I ask who here has ever been in a relationship with somebody whose politics are completely opposite from yours? I never have until this last year, and I absolutely do still adore this man. He has treated me like an absolute queen. He has healed my heart. He is so kind to me. He took such good care of me and my heart. But he believes in the complete opposite things from me. And to me, those things are foundational things like women's rights, LGBTQ rights. We have literally broken up like 7 different times this year. It's absolutely like pathetic, honestly, that I would even entertain such a ridiculous thing when I'm in my 30s. Like, it feels like a high school relationship, just with the fact that we're just on and off and on and off and on and off. But it's a testament to how much we love each other. We can't let each other go. And we keep coming back to the relationship and trying again. And then those values and morals and politics get in the way again. And I've never experienced something like it. And with the election being literally tomorrow, it of course has heightened the emotions surrounding those topics. And I just told them last night that, like, for me, there's an elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is the way that he feels about people that aren't like him. And the fact that, in my opinion, he doesn't have empathy for people who aren't like him. Like, if he can't put himself in other people's shoes, he just can't imagine that he just can't imagine himself in those circumstances, and therefore he doesn't care. And he's also extraordinarily religious and Christian, and he believes, you know, he lives his life according to the Bible, and that's not me. And so I'm just so sad today because we called it quits again, and I think, you know, this time it's for good. And he kind of said to me, I need to go off the grid. I need to not see you for a while, because otherwise we're just going to end up doing this again. And it's so hard for me to be around you and just be your friend. Like, basically, I don't have the capacity of doing that. And honestly, I kind of agree, because again, we've done this so many times. Like, we try to be friends and then we're like, wow, I'm still so attracted to you. And frankly, I'm still in love with you. And so let's try this again. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just wonder, have any of you ever been able to make something like that work? I just don't foresee something that core belief different working.
So the fact that he can't put himself in other people's shoes means that he's an emotionalist, psychopathic demon. And he can't put himself in your shoes. So if he wants to be with you and marry you and have a family with you, that means that one day you will have to carry his child. And you may live in a state there that if something goes wrong with your pregnancy, or if you miscarriage, you may end up in jail for having a miscarriage that you had nothing to do with. Your body just rejected that baby for some reason. It's probably because of him, his degenerate sperm, but that's a whole different topic. Or you might also lose your child while you're carrying it and try to get the doctors to help you get that baby out of you. And they refuse to do it because of the laws that his candidate is going to keep in place and make even worse. So that's something to think about. If you want to have kids with this man and you're in states that are really cracking down on women's autonomy over their bodies, like not wanting to help women when they're pregnant and they're in need of emergency care, women are being taken out. They're actually dying in these situations. And if he doesn't care about that, and you can't even explain it to him in a way that will make him empathize, sympathize, or even care, like, what kind of relationship is that going to be?
I'm just curious, ladies, that when you and your partner finally realize that you're supporting two different candidates for this upcoming election and he's supporting this guy, I'm just trying to figure out, how are y'all sleeping next to each other, sitting across the kitchen table together, planning your future together, knowing that this guy and his cronies are perpetuating an environment that is not only making you, me, hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of Americans unsafe, but also that the partner that you are planning your life with, your future with, does not have your best interests at heart. Like, how is that shaking out for the family reunions? I can't even be friends with, let alone be in a relationship with, be partnered with, build a future with, lay next to, procreate with someone who is voting against my best interests, who is actively voting for someone who has been blatantly clear that that person does not care about my safety, my future, my rights, my bodily autonomy, and the person that I am sharing my body with, planning a future with, is supporting that candidate. At some point, y'all need to realize that that person does not love you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is no way that that person loves you.
Friend gave me an ultimatum on which candidate I should vote for in the upcoming presidential election.
When you say ultimatum, it's like, vote for this person or I'm breaking up with you.
Indirectly, what she said.
Can we know who she wants you to vote for?
She wants me to vote for Kamala Harris.
Was it like a friendly discussion about politics when it started?
Absolutely
or has this been
not.
a recurring thing? Does she get fired up about political issues?
As I found out the other night, yes, very much.
So you discovered a new value of hers that is not a value of yours. Are you politically charged as well on the other side, or are you just like, nah, it's not my thing?
Nah, it's not really my thing. Like, I don't care who you vote for. Like, I'll go have a sandwich with you afterwards, you know?
Okay, but she kind of cornered you and said, hey, who are you voting for?
We've been together almost 3 years.
Mhm.
We actually leave for Mexico in less than 2 weeks, where I plan to propose.
Oh, man.
And she just asked me, hey, who'd you put on your ballot for the political party? I don't know if I failed by not having a discussion about politics early in the relationship. I didn't think that was, I thought that always was something you could agree to disagree on.
A lot of people
and
do.
you can.
That's the thing. It's not a like you have to agree on politics or else. But if she is this intense about it, then this is a red flag. I don't know her level of emotion around it, but I think getting to the bottom of it and then figuring out, okay, are you going to be able to respect my autonomy in this relationship to vote as I see fit? And if not, if you don't respect that boundary, then this relationship may not work in the long term.
The election I ever voted in was the 2016 presidential election. And when the results came out, I was crying, as many people were. And I remember my boyfriend at the time getting annoyed at me and just dismissing me and kind of making fun of me for being upset, because it didn't really matter. Because it didn't matter to him. It wouldn't have changed anything. And so today I'm thinking about all the women that expressed fear and concern over their voting choices versus their husbands, and being worried about how they might be treated if their husband found out, their boyfriend find out. I hope you get out. I hope you find safety. I hope you find peace. As I know, if I were still in that relationship that I was back then, I would be a shell of myself. And, you know, it's a decision I regret all the time, that I have to forgive myself for. As I was younger and didn't really know just what beliefs that person had. And to everyone who is feeling anxious today, I don't have the answers. Just know that I love you, and we'll get through this together. Also, leave your husband. Dump him when you can do it safely.
Tips from a divorce attorney. Reasons for divorce usually include infidelity, substance abuse, family issues, or money problems. However, lately, I'm finding a brand new reason for people to get divorced. Political view differences. Yes, this is causing divorces. This is a sad reflection on our society that we can't just have different views and still get along.
It's way deeper than people not being able to get along because of difference of opinions. This is already costing women their lives. Their lives. Women are already being unalived in hospitals because of these laws that these men are making. Families are being torn apart because of the women that have lost their lives along with these babies in this hospital. I hate when people come on here and make something so huge seem like it's just something so little and insignificant. Like women dying is just not significant enough for them to be outraged and upset.
This is something I genuinely do not get. Democratic women married to Republican husbands. I don't get it. If my husband was a Republican, truthfully, I would file for divorce.
I want to make this very clear, ladies, that no matter who wins, it's going to be horrible for everybody. Know that in your heart. Mark my words. If Kamala wins, these men, black, white, Mexican, no matter what race they are, if they're voting for Trump, they are going to lose their shit. And it's not going to be pretty. If Trump wins, y'all saw what happened when they marched on the Capitol, when they fled the Capitol or whatever. If Trump wins, it's not going to be pretty. There's going to be laws enforced to subjugate and oppress every group of people except the men who look like him and the men who are in his tax bracket. There are a lot of black men who are voting for him. Black women, stop talking to them. They're gone. They're no longer here. They're gone. Stop trying to get them to listen to you. They've shown us for centuries that they don't like us. They do not like us. They don't see us as them. Stop trying to identify with them. They have shown you and told you millions of times. I can show you videos. I can show you just so many things where they have proven to you that they really don't care about you. But when he gives those police immunity to do what they want to do, when they bring back the slave patrol, they forgot about this. They forgot about this because that was maybe 100 years ago. Wasn't that long ago. They're still sundown towns. They forget about that. They're still sundown towns. There are still laws on the books about lynching and stuff that is still legal. It was still legal. It might still be legal. I don't know if it's outlawed. It might. We don't look into the law like we should. So some of these laws that were on the books back then are still on the books. And if they're not, states like Mississippi and Florida are trying to get them back on the books for us. If y'all don't know what a sundown town is, y'all need to look into that. If y'all don't know what a hunting license for us was, this right here, it was year round. And it wasn't just for the slave patrol cops to hunt. It was for everybody to be able to hunt us. Women, you didn't get your rights until after black men did. Women still don't have all the rights that men have. Like we think we do, but we don't get paid the same thing as them. We don't get as good as jobs. We're doing better. As women, we're doing a lot better, but they're still in control of these laws that can snatch back everything that we've accomplished because they want to be in control. And he who is in control holds the money, makes the most money, has all the power. And as we can see, these men want power. We don't have to worry about black men trying to get power. As long as if they can be powerful over their women and the people that look like them, as long as they can subjugate and oppress black women and kids in the hood, they're fine with that. They don't care about trying to go up against other groups of men. We know that. There's too many videos and content on YouTube that prove that show that, statistics. We got so much stuff to prove that. I just want black women to stop begging from these men. I want, as I say all the time, I want women, arm yourselves. You have a Second Amendment right as a woman in the United States to arm yourself. Because like I said, no matter who wins, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get real ugly. And when war comes, they're already talking about civil war, civil discourse, because this is just what men like to do. They like to cause wars and stuff. We know that women are always casualties. Children are always casualties. No matter what the race of man is, if we're in a war and there's a woman around, she's not going to be safe. So I say it all the time. Women, arm yourselves. You're going to need to protect yourself. You're going to need to protect other women, maybe kids. Get some self-defense. Do what you need to do. Like, it's going to get ugly. Either way, these men are going to lose their shit. Trump is already saying on the stage there's going to be bloodshed if Kamala wins. But what y'all don't know is it's going to be that way either way. So let's get back into these videos.
Time out. What do you mean that you had to hide and sneak behind your husband's back to go vote to cancel out his vote? What do you mean? Because what? Married women, are y'all okay? Because what? So your husband told you who you were voted for, who he was voting for. and you know that that vote is against everything that is going to benefit you as a woman, and you just went to go vote for the other person. Like, that was it. There was no discussion. You continued cooking and cleaning and taking care of the home, knowing that he's voting for your oppression. Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I saw the trend, and some people thought it was an act of revolution, but I was just so confused. Because in my mind, especially with the amount of relationship content that is literally saturated the internet, why would you even marry someone that politically doesn't align with you? Especially in that extreme. I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
You canceled your husband's vote because you are in favor of women's bodily autonomy and rights. But yet you lay next to someone who doesn't support your bodily autonomy and rights.
Hey everybody, so I'm in the gym today, as you can see, and I'm in a staff gym. And the CV's up, etc., etc. And the TVs are on, and of course there's like election stuff that comes on. And so he's clearly joking, you know, really kind of talking to himself, but Sherman's over here very close. And he's just like, oh man, like I gotta get out there and early vote and make sure I take a picture of who I voted for so my wife doesn't leave me. And so, as a person that has been having multiple conversations with other people in relationships around this voting election, the main question that keeps arising is a difference of political opinions enough to break up and leave a person? So with that being in my head, I looked over to this man, and I'll give his demographics. Clearly middle-aged, white man, really good shape, whatever. And so I asked him, I said, hey, like, I know you're joking, but he goes, oh no, I'm not joking. And I was like, do you think that that's valid? And he gave me this very interesting take, to say the least. And led me to recognize that there are men that can hold multiple truths. And there are people that can vote with their interests and the interests of their loved ones in mind. And so essentially what he said came down to, if you love a person, you would never vote for, against, or abstain for what they need. Like, if you love them, why would you ever vote or not vote for something that could potentially save their lives in the future? And so again, it goes back to that conversation of, is a difference of political opinions enough to leave a relationship, a marriage? Because on one end, I feel like, okay, well, elections only come around like every 4 years. So just like, maybe not talk about it, let it ride, let it go. But then on the other end of that, it's like, well, like how you align politically is kind of how you align morally and your value system. And so if a person doesn't align with your moral and value system, or if you go into what he said, which was they don't love you, is that enough? Should you take that in consideration in moving forward in your relationship? Y'all let me know in the comments. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Now this one ain't gonna be easy for mom, okay? Because I hear about all these people who talking about how this election has separated family and friends and this, that, and the other. And I've been like, ooh, Lord, who doing that? You know, lying to myself. Let me tell y'all something. This election, let me just say, my son and I, on two different, sides of this thing. Of course, you know, he's a dumper. And I just found that out. And I try like everything to tell him, because he has 3 sisters. All of which who are still in the baby making stage if they wanted the fuck too, okay? But I tried to explain that to him. I tried to explain about all his cases and his convictions and all that. And this boy argued with me like I was somebody in the fucking street. Now, I've been there through hell, through jail, and through bail with this motherfucker. And I love him. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from loving him. And I know, I mean, he's late 30s, right? So, I know I can't guide his path. I've done all I can do. But when you sitting there arguing with your mama, yarn, him, me bitch, about this motherfucker, Trump ass. Before I'd have argued, my mama dead and gone. And if my mama would have been a Trumper, and before I argue with my mama about this motherfucker who don't give a fuck about nothing, look like me, care nothing about me and mine, KK the fuck K, every K up that motherfucker got behind him, I explained all it to this boy. But before I'd have argued with my mama behind that, if she was a Trumper, if she was living, which I doubt that, but I'd have said, okay, mom, I love you. I'm finna go. Like, I guess, because number one, I wasn't in his house. I was in mine. You take your trumping ass back to yours. Yeah, the house I even furnished up for him. But I'm going too far. I died of fuck breath. Listen, and this is not to shade him, but I think I want to help, maybe, let other people know through the bullshit. Wait, let me go back. If I would walk off from my mama, I wouldn't disrespect her in her own house about who she decide. Because he went to trying to talk about your girl. I'm talking about VP Harris. And I just looked at him like he was on that shit. Because, truth be the fuck told, Trump shouldn't even be running. And I told him that. He's a convicted felon. And like I told his fucking ass. Bitch, I don't even think you can vote. Are you registered? He wouldn't go that far with me. He had to leave that one alone. So how you going to argue with... Listen, I'm not trying to shame him. And I hear tell he watched some of my videos. Now, if you watching this one, this is the place you have me at. And I just want to assume that I ain't the only one going through this. People say they losing family members, they losing friends. One thing, I'm going to love him to the fucking end. In spite of his stupid characteristics. Okay, I'm going to leave that like that. And he's a bit of a narcissist, so I can almost see him following Trump. Because, yay, don't make me go there. Yeah, and I told him that. And he said, a narcissist? And when he said, what you mean? So I say, somebody that's all about themselves. That don't care. It's all about, because before you know it, he made it about him. And I said, okay, Trump, I see why. Now, I raised him. He had no dad in his life. I did the best the fuck I could. And in the end, I'm going to love him. Anyway, because like the Bible said, when they killed Jesus, he said, forgive him, Father, because he know not what he's doing. They know not what they were doing. That fool know not what he's doing. And if you're going to, listen, I understand. He could have his point the fuck the view. Just have it outside of my house. See all this crochet? That mean mama the fuck shit how you in this one. The fuck out here with that bullshit. I did the best I can. I'm going to love him no matter what. But y'all ain't gonna lie, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. How you forget about me? Just look at this man and the shit. I even said that the stuff he's saying. I brought all that up. I pulled videos. I just didn't make it up. January 6th, he was like, but, motherfucker, but, that's what we doing now. But January 6th is a but? No. I even told him about stop and frisk. That's gonna be damn mandatory when he get in. That Trumpster. And this motherfucker looks suspect. You ain't heard it from me. You ain't heard it from me. They're gonna keep his ass on the ground or on a car somewhere. And guess who we gonna call? Me. And guess who ain't coming? I'm gonna pray for him. I'll be fucked if I don't pray for my child. But I ain't going to run now because you voted this motherfucker in that gave the police all kind of immunity to where they could go stop and frisk your black ass. So enjoy your stop and frisk if that bitch win, although he won't. Thanks to people who are choosing country over party. This motherfucker chose Trump over me. That's how I feel. Y'all can say, oh, you taking it too emotional, bitch. You had to see it. You had to hear the conversation. It got so bad to where I just say, you know what? I will not bring this up again. I don't want to talk to you about it again. Because he kept trying to convince me how good this motherfucker was. That wasn't going to happen. And I was trying to, I was just trying to tell him some of the things these men had done. He act like somebody picking on Trump. Motherfucker, you think Trump think about your black ass? Okay, I'll see you when you get on the ground. Don't call me. I have no bail money. I have no sale money. I have no Gale money. Bitch, don't call me. But I love you. And you gonna say, how you gonna love that boy? You ain't gonna, bitch, I done been there, done that. I can't. I have no more fucking enter the fuck G. None of it. I love him. And I'm gonna love him till I am no more. But I can't do this narcissistic bullshit. And trust me, I've seen how he all the woman thing. Oh, I see why you on his side. Because just, he just, I mean, I get it. But when you turn against your mama, and I ain't talking political. All I asked at one point in time, let's cut this shit off because I could see I'm getting in a place. I'm getting high. You getting high, and I ain't talking about off a drug. My fucking levels were going up, and yours were going up. We were not gonna meet in the middle. Yes, this shit is separating family, it's separating friends, and what's really fucked up, it's separating parents. But we're gonna be all right. I've had to deal with some shit before with this one. You don't get every day that for you're a parent. And you sure ain't got a book. Mama did the best she can. But these are my confessions. Yeah. I had to go into them. I don't know. I hear so many people talking about it and I'll be like, ooh, that's a shame. Bitch, something told me to tell my story. It may not help. But in the end, I know y'all, from what I just said, I and I didn't really drag it like I could have. Because that's still my child. Do understand when y'all make comments, that's still my motherfucking child. Now, you can say, oh, I'm sorry that's happening to you, but don't go into too long of bullshit because I'm still a mama cat and I will scratch the fuck out you. Just like I almost scratched that motherfucker. But listen, we gonna be all right. We done survived more than this, y'all. But this Trump over me? All right. Yeah, this some separating bullshit, y'all. Yes, it is. But we got to be strong, and everybody got to hold to what they fucking feel, and that's what he holding to. Good luck with that one, because he goes to lose. And the sad part, him losing is going to help that motherfucker, because you ain't got to worry about stopping frisk. Duh.
The moment you say to me, what has Kamala done for us? We can end the conversation. We can dead it right there because I already know you're going to sit here and try to get me to hear points about what Trump has done. And he ain't did nothing for me nor you. But you can sit here and talk to yourself because I don't have nothing else to say to you. The moment you say to me, what has Kamala done for us? I know for a fact you're on the other side and we can dead this conversation. He don't like me nor you. And it's okay for you. But it ain't okay for me. Especially if you look like me. If you say that to me and you look like me, baby, I'm finna walk off. I ain't even finna say nothing to you. Jasmine, I don't even see you, baby. You was a 5 feet to my 6 feet. Huh. Bye.
These Democrats, Michelle Obama, what's the other guy name? Not Ricky Smiley, but D.L. Hughley and a few others is insinuating people divorce their spouses if they not voting for Kamala. They willing to tell people to destroy their families over a vote that's not going to benefit black people. Y'all don't see what's going on. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go vote for Trump. Trump is just as evil. Here's the crazy thing. Follow me on this. When Trump was the president for 4 years, he ain't do nothing for black people, regardless of what these so-called people who's voting for him say. He ain't do nothing for black people. Kamala Harris and Biden, they've been in, she the VP. They ain't do nothing for black people the last 4 years. They've been in president. Like, if they was going to do something, they would have done something. Like, and both black people on both sides is caping for these people who don't give a daggone about them. They pander to y'all. And y'all talking about y'all so woke on both sides. Y'all so educated on both sides. Y'all are, y'all fighting against each other. Oh, Kamala be lying. Oh, Trump be lying. All of them is lying to y'all. I'm telling black people, yo, sit this out. Show them how much power you have by sitting this out. Show them you mean business if they ain't cutting them checks. But y'all sitting up here tap dancing and they telling y'all to break up y'all marriage. They telling y'all to divorce your husband if they vote the other way. That's crazy.
I want to know what the divorce rates will be after this election. I'm not trying to add to the doom and gloom, but this election is about so much more than just politics. And I would not be surprised if we saw two things: an increase in DV, reports in DV, and also an increase in divorce. Of course, we won't have that information until probably Q1 of 2025, but has anybody else thought about this? And also, something to think about, tomorrow, if Kamala wins, we should be checking on women who cancel out their husband's vote. We need to check on them. A large part of the demographic that is voting in this election it's women. And a lot of those women's husbands are not voting the same way they are. So check on your friends, or check on the women who maybe you're not friends with anymore, but just check on them. Just reach out, honestly, because you just never know.
Yeah, ladies. So that's pretty much all that I have. It's a mess. It's ugly. It's going to get uglier before it gets pretty. Like she said, check on your friends if you know that they're with men that they don't agree with on this. Try to be there for your friends. Try to talk to them. Try to share videos with them. Try to share these videos, my video with them. Like I said, I don't care about getting paid for this. I have a job, but I care about women. Even though most women don't like me, I still love them. I still have empathy for them because I know that most women that don't understand where I'm coming from, they just don't know any better. They're still asleep, and I've been awake for like a very long time for about a lot of stuff, and it's just lonely. If you're one of those people that feel like you've been just awake since you've been a child, it's just lonely. But that's pretty much all I had to say. If you have anything that you want to add, please get in the comments and let me know what you think about this entire election season, and I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.
That